What would you like to do when you grow up? Have you ever asked yourself that very question? I have been asking that question ever since when I was very little, even still very today. So, it is an honor to be standing right here in front of you today, but I want to make sure to say the first thing, the only thing TED Talker ever taught. So, please, don't listen to me, just look at me. It's because I made custom-made clothes. I'm a humble founder of Nathon Kong label. And you probably wonder, I went to a fashion school and listened to be a great designer, where in fact, I'm a microbiologist. And the next question you probably wonder, how did he get here? So for that, you have to be patient for the next 10 minutes or so. And just to state the obvious, no, it is not because of how great I look. So the first time that question ever dawned to me, I was 8 years old. It's not by choice, because my teacher asked me, you have to go in front and tell everyone what you want to be. At the time, I wanted to be a doctor. Because I remember rushing to the hospital, I thought I'm going to lose my fingers because I was experimented with super glue for the first time. But in the same time, I also remember the relief of my mom and my dad's face, each and every sit. And unfortunately, my father is no longer here with me. He passed away of cancer when I was 5. He's no longer here to see what I'm up to, but actually it's my dad or my mom I'm committed to make sure she's extra proud. She's an entrepreneur, a single mom of 4 children. She started a business by herself, and then that's why I'm here today. So, first time I think, when the question dawned to me that I think almost depresses me. I think when I was about 13 or 17. With that in case, because we were about to go to university and high school, I was a little bit better in science. So I wanted to be a scientist, so I picked microbiology, but why microbiology? I thought the name sounds really cool, and I told my mom I'm going to be a microbiologist. She was so upset because she asked me what you're going to be. She wasn't wrong. She thought I'm going to be making yogurt for the rest of my life. I didn't have an answer for her. Now, moving forward, life is like a journey. We were told that you have to make a decision. And then you will work really hard. You're going to get where you need to be. But the question is, do you really know? You've never been there. You have seen it. You have heard of it, and yet you're going to be studying for 4 years in university, and I thought I'm going to be doing that for the rest of my life. So that did not happen. So the second time where this question come back and haunted me is, I think when I first graduated from university. So with that in case, I think I worked for a year, and for some reason I found myself unemployed. I have nobody else to blame but myself. I thought I'm going to have a passion and what I need to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. And worst of all, I have no skill set to be better than anyone else. So I did what everyone does. I went to work in a restaurant for 5 months. I was ashamed of myself, not because I was a waiter. Because I have to find an excuse to tell people, Nathan, what would you like to do? What you're going to be? You may not know in life what you want to do, but I'm pretty sure you know what you don't like. So that very moment, I told myself, this can't happen again. So I told myself, you have to work harder. You have to stay focused on what you do. And then you want to be somebody. You have to be somebody. Years has passed. A few years later, when I turned 30, that question came back again. This time, I found myself offered a package. I thought I was focused. I did my MBA. I even worked in one of the largest pharmaceuticals in the world. But for some reason, I ended up to where I was a few years back. I know life is full of obstacles. I know it's going to be difficult. and we were told that you have to keep moving forward and you'll get somewhere. But here's the thing. I didn't believe in my boat. I wasn't sure that my boat gonna get to where I want to be. So I decided to jump outside of it. We may not know in life where we're going, but it's nice sometimes to ask myself, how did you get here? I asked myself that very question. What I found out, I had actually made the decision when I was 17, when I decided to study microbiology. And I continued through that journey for 13 years. How did I let myself get there? I thought. Then again, I tell myself, actually no. I actually don't want to be somebody. That should not be my goal of my life. I actually want to be the best version of me. In order to be the best version of me, I have to create an environment that allows me to be the best version of me. I have to find a standard who I could hold up to. I only know one person. It's my mother. She is a successful business owner in Thailand. She is never hugged me or said that she will love me, but I always thought she's a complicated woman. I asked my mom, at the time when you start a business by yourself, what was in your head? Her answer is very simple. She said, I have 4 children to feed. I want to make sure they go to university. I want to make sure they're good citizens and they contribute to the community. She has taught us to be very proud. So, with that in mind, if she hadn't gone through so much, what about me? A woman who struggles so hard, just want to be us to have a better life. A woman who you may not know, she may have made many impact in my life, in her friends, her family, even her customer. A woman who left school on the 2nd grade so that she can support her family. A woman who bought a rice paddy field of her ex-employee so that their parents can continue to live in the land where they grew up. A woman who continued to support me even when I told her, Mom, I want to be a suit designer, but I know nothing about it. And the last time recently when that question came down back and asked me again is when I started the business. People think it is easy, and it was not, definitely. I've lost many friends, a few who actually make me doubt to my very existence. Some actually look down on me, but on the bright side, I've gained many. Many who still very today, still telling me what to do. Many who continue to make sure that I succeed. So, I know that life is going to be extremely difficult, and you have to continue to challenge, and you're going to learn things along the way. So when I started the business, I don't know how to make suit. I don't know what to do with the business. And worst of all, I have to sell. This is my worst nightmare. So I look back. I have no one to depend on. It's only me on this journey. So I told myself I will figure it out. In whatever way that is, I have to get to where I need to be. Even if I have to ride the dolphin to get to where I need to be. But one thing I remember, you often think you are alone, but truly you're not. You always have to remember everyone who come here with you. For example, actually my team, they're sitting up right in the front row. They came here. They're my biggest cheerleader. I think they're even more excited than me. Thank you. And also, Nathon Kong customer. The customer who actually very grateful. I'm very grateful. They continued the journey for 3 years now. They're very forgiving, very patient, and they still want me to grow, to be a better person. If you ask me again, Nathan, what would you like to do when you grow up? It's funny, that question is still come back, but it's no longer dawn back and it becomes less and less apparent. It's because I commit to what I have to do. I don't know what's going on, but this is what I believe I'm going to do. I want to create. I want to contribute. And I want to make a difference. So I commit to Nathon Kong label. At Nathon Kong, we want to make sure that you feel very special in terms of the product and the experience. I want to make sure that the wearer actually feels special than the one who creates. And it is my goal to make sure to combine art and philanthropy together in the fashion. How did I do that? For example, no, I'm not working at Desjardins or TD or the golf court. The beautiful green jacket that you see, if I open the inside, it's actually a painting from the patients. There's only 5 people in the world who actually can wear this. It's given from the patient from the program of mental health called Les Impatients. The program is here to help the patient to go through the journey through expression of their work. And I'm carrying that star with me. If I could, the name of the patient, his name is written on my jacket. His name is Norma Aubert. He's no longer here with us, but he spent the last 6 years of his life in the hospital. He was handicapped. If you look into his painting properly, you will see that there's a legs in there. Because he never walked after the accident. But he wanted so bad, dreamed to get out of the hospital and walk again. So that story I'm carrying with me. And I'm very proud to tell people who are going to be asking me, Nathan, that is a nice jacket. Now, going back, we think we hit the goal, but life is never stopped. We never have enough. If I could go back and tell Nathan again, the young and naive, what would you do when you grow up? And actually, I'm going to tell him, you have to stop wondering, but you should ask yourself a question. What could you do when you grow up? The powerful of the word could, it makes you focus on yourself. You look into a way to better yourself, to acquire the skill set. The word could, you focus on today rather than hoping for tomorrow. I've sued many of my customers, and a lot of them are exec, and they're very important people. A lot of you I would look up to them. I asked them very question in the past months. And the funny thing is, you would think they would have an answer. They said, I don't know. But they would say one thing in common. They would say, no, Nathan, this is what I decided to do. So this is what I'm going to do. One thing I resonate that when you start doing, you never know where you're going. I'm not that the fortunate one. I didn't have the calling growing up that I'm destined to be that person. But by doing it, you will find out what you don't like. You'll be in a process maybe to find out, if you're lucky, what you like to do. So I like to discover myself and then continue what I need to do, because the skill set and the network that you develop doesn't matter if you have to start it all over again. You're gonna get up and be who you need to be. So, but again, who am I to listen? I'm just a doctor wannabe, a microbiologist, and then unemployed, and now I'm philanthropy designer, if you may call. My mother will always say, success is equal to how much you can give. Because when you give, mean you have enough. When you receive, because you will never have enough. So it's my mentor to tell myself, actually, I want to contribute. I want to make a difference. I want to make sure that my customer, my family, my team is happy to be around me, and hopefully you'll love me too. So, One day, I want to be the person to tell my mom that you can depend on me. This is something I really, really want to do, but for now, I'm going to save the world one suit at a time. Ask yourself before you leave, what could you do when you grow up? Thank you very much.